Hey guys, Youngblood with you, and I wanted to talk a little bit about the Around the Verse that just came out, because there was some really cool information that came about. Now, some of it was kind of expected information, and some things that we've already talked about a little bit, but I wanted to go into a little bit of detail on some of this. And the first thing was, I had mentioned before about some of the changes in the Town Hall, specifically with like the buggy skins. You know, when you can now put different colored skins on the Grey Cat. And you can access that through going through the holotable and scrolling all the way over to the Paint tab. Now, confirmed on Around the Verse that this is the technology that's going to be applied to ships, so we can expect all sorts of skins coming out soon. To me, I think that cosmetic is something we're going to see that's going to be like really our first taste of customization, and something I'm excited about. You know, whether that be flying around a ship that's got, you know, the pirate skin that we've seen before, or whether that be flying just a red ship or a green ship. You know, having some of those unique characteristics not only is fun for the pilot, but I think it's going to be kind of immersive when you're actually talking about flying around an arena commander and being able to kind of differentiate your targets visually a little bit, which I'm excited for. One of the other things they talked about was that CIG is trying really hard to figure out how people are going to want to use the in-game chat instead of going through like a TeamSpeak or a Mumble or a Vent. And I've kind of got a personal list of things that it needs to be. I think it needs to have something like positional audio, or maybe like a visual that kind of reflects the audio or the character actually talking. So whether that be an overlay with who's talking or where they are, something along those lines probably needs to be in there. It needs to be dependable. And for those of you that played PlanetSide 2, we all know that other games have really crappy in-game audio, and it makes some difficulties. So a third party has almost been a necessity to this point. I'm also wondering if people are going to pick immersion or practicality. You know, so if something like signals, like your voice commands, can be hacked or disrupted, you know, what's the benefit then to using in-game when you wouldn't have those same issues outside of the game if you were using a third party? Yeah, you would be more immersed in the game and what's actually taking place, but if it's impacting your gameplay and your success rate, most people aren't going to make that sacrifice. And it really needs to be something that's capable of supporting hundreds of people, and something that can be broken down into subgroups. You know, at PXP, we're already planning some like operational wings. So we've got like our command channel, we've got our combat wing, we've got our transport wing, and within that we've got different little groups that we can use and stuff. It's something that we're developing, and it's going to make our life a lot easier. And if we don't have those same capabilities in-game, there's no chance that we're going to use the in-game communication. So I think that what we'll probably see is most organizations are going to end up using a third-party software for their operations, but then rely on the in-game communication for others that are outside of the organization. I would prefer, and I would love to use in-game stuff, but I think there's a lot of requirements that need to take place and get met in order for us to actually want to use that. A couple other updates. They said that the reason for no new flyable ships this month is because they're changing the way they're doing damage states. Now, ideally what this means is that they're going to be able to update ships a little bit quicker in the future. It's part of their new pipeline, and I'm hoping this is the reason why we don't have the Gladius flyable yet. But since we're actually seeing some damage states on the Gladius, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, I'm hoping it's something that is going to be available to fly soon, because I want to fly my Gladius. Speaking of ships, the Bulldog was renamed to the Vanguard, and I personally think that's a really fitting name, considering the Vanguard would likely be a great choice to either, you know, scout ahead of a convoy or kind of lead a charge into battle, being a, you know, a heavier and a more durable fighter. My choice probably would have been something like Vindicator, just because I think that's something that fits with the Aegis naming convention, but I think Vanguard describes the ship itself very well. Now, if I hear Vanguard, I probably would have thought, you know, an anvil ship, but either way, I'm pretty happy with, you know, the change to Vanguard, because Bulldog was way off. And the last thing I wanted to show off was the video sneak peek from the Around the Verse, and it's showcasing damage on a Gladius. Now, first off, that ship's so damn pretty, it's hard to watch it get damaged, but the damage is really attractive too, so that's okay by me. Anyways, as we kind of look through this video, you can see that there's some light damage that's being done through bullet holes, and it seems like it's going to be able to retain that kind of imagery on the hull. We also get some heavier damage, which we're seeing through like burns and scars, and actual holes that are being cut into the ship and through parts of the hull. You know, the level of damage that we're seeing is outstanding. I think it looks great. And I'm really excited to see all this implemented. You know, I kind of think, you know, can you imagine just seeing these pretty and clean looking ships like the M50? Maybe something like the Super Hornet in its bright white. an arena commander just flying around covered in blemishes. So I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. And for me, this was one of the more informative Around the Verse episodes that I've seen, and got some pretty cool information out of it. So that's pretty much it. Just wanted to recap some things that I thought were interesting and share it with you guys if you didn't have a chance to watch it. So that's about it. Stay tuned for more, and I will talk to you guys later. Take care.